Hello, this is Deron Smallcomb with Modern Law Group. Today we're going to talk about an issue that we frequently address when people call in, which is parole when you're detained. So what is parole? A lot of folks, they come to the United States to seek asylum. So they're trying to take a legal path forward to get legal in the United States, right, and pursue their claim so that they're not returned to their home country. And in many cases, these folks are detained by ICE while their case is pending. Now, in many cases, this is justified. In others, it's not. And when it's not, it's when somebody has a very strong case, they have family or close friends within the United States that have status. For example, maybe you have a brother or a sister, an aunt, an uncle, a child, a parent that is a U.S. citizen. And what you could do is you could ask the government to be able to stay with your U.S. citizen relative or a close friend or something like that while your case is pending. So how is this done? Now, we do this a lot successfully, and how we do it is we create a petition that we send to ICE. And that petition basically says, hey, look, our client has hired our law firm, number one. They're going to pursue their claim. They're going to show up to court. That's really important because they're very concerned that you won't show up to court. So we give them assurances that they have paid our firm, that will be representing them, that they're going to show up to their day in court. Secondly, we're going to show that they have a place to stay. And that place to stay, generally, as I mentioned, is going to be with a close U.S. citizen relative or close friend. And we will provide the address and details on that person, evidence of their status within the United States. For example, we would show a passport or some sort of citizenship document for this family member. We would show evidence of where they're living. This may be in the form of a utility bill or something along those lines. We're also going to show that that person that's sponsoring is financially solvent and able to sponsor you. So what does that mean? That means that that person is saying that you could live with them and they'll take care of you, but they need to have enough money to do so. And so to do that, oftentimes we'll use tax returns, recent pay stubs, things like that. So we've shown that, in fact, you do have a place to go. These people have status in the United States, and they have the funds to sponsor you. We're also going to try to show that you are not a danger to the community. And so oftentimes that may be in the form of criminal records, attestations that you do not have any criminal history or past issues with the law, and also that you have a strong case. And oftentimes that's our law firm saying, hey, yeah, we've reviewed this case. We feel it's a very strong case, and it's highly likely to succeed on the merits, which means we think you're going to win. So there's really no reason to hold you in detention for 3, 6, 9 months or whatever it may be while the case is pending. Now, we submit that generally to ICE, and in some cases, depending on how you entered, we could ask the court to review that as well. Now, the court only has discretion in certain circumstances, which is after you've been in detention for a long period of time, or if you were detained while you were already in the United States. And in that case, the court has some discretion as to whether they will post a bond for you or not. Now, ICE or the court can request a certain amount of bond or a deposit to ensure that you show up to court. They don't always do so, but in some cases they do. Years back, it was commonplace. Over the last few years, it has been rare that they do so. However, it is their right to ask for a little bit of security to see if you're going to show up. So if we're successful, most of the time we are. It's not always though, but most of the time that we are. They will release you, and then your case will be moved from the detained docket to the non-detained docket. And that means you're still going to go to court. You're still going to do the same process. It's just going to take a little bit longer, and you're not going to do so in jail. So obviously this is preferable. We do this for a lot of clients. We could certainly look at a case for you as well if you're in that situation and see if it might apply to you. We only take cases where we think we will be successful. Again, that's not always the case, but the vast majority of cases are. And so if you want us to take a look at yours, give us a ring. We'll be happy to do a quick case assessment, let you know where you stand, and if we can help you, we will. Thanks for watching.